Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another video. This is another one of those what I've been eating videos that I did recently. You guys feel free to let me know how you feel about this. I like that I can show like random things that I want to show you guys that I've been eating recently without having to record every single thing that I ate in the week like I used to do. But at the same time, I like the weekly format. You know, I like that structure. But anyways, let's get into the video. I hope you enjoy it. First of all, we have one of the only actual like meals included in this video, or I should say solid meals. It's a wrap. I bought a pack of lavash wraps last time I was at Trader Joe's because they were all out of my roommate and I's favorite spicy lentil wraps, and even the hummus veggie wrap. What was that about? I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't go grocery shopping so late at night. But I was like, you know what? I've been saying for months now that I should learn how to make that myself, because I really like them and they don't seem that complicated, you know? So I was like, I'm gonna do it. This is my chance, you know? This is a sign that I should start making them myself this week. And then I was all set to make them for lunch this day, and I realized that I don't have red lentils, which is what I need to be able to mash them and make a paste for a wrap. I only have brown lentils. So I will get those from the store next time. But for now, I just decided to make a little chicken wrap with some vegan chicken tenders I bought from Trader Joe's the same day. And I just put the chicken tenders in the air fryer for like 8 minutes, and while that was going, I prepared the rest of my wrap. This is pretty fun. Honestly, it reminded me of making sushi, but like easier, you know, and less pressure because it's just a wrap. But yeah, I put a bunch of veggies in it. I put avocado and a lot of hummus. I put garlic salt and cracked pepper, and also some of my favorite condiment, mustard. I don't know why I said that's not really my favorite condiment, but I do love it. And yeah, it was super good and easy and filling. I honestly feel like I'm gonna become a wrap stan. Not like that, but well, I mean, I like wrap. Anyways, also another thing that I've been getting into lately, or honestly the whole last year, something that's brought me a lot of joy when other things couldn't, was making fun little drinks for myself. You know, like a little coffee drink, a little chocolate milk, even hot chocolate, a little matcha latte, you know, I don't know. I've been starting to make my own boba drinks at home lately. I've also found that it's pretty easy to make like a large batch of boba one day and then just use the leftovers for the next days. And honestly, it works pretty well to just microwave it for like 30 seconds or longer if your microwave is weak, like ours, and then throw it into whatever drink you want, really, and call it a day. Are you kidding me? Yeah, so this is just a simple matcha latte with boba in it. Boba is just fun, you know. It's something solid to chew on while you're enjoying your caffeine in the morning or afternoon like me. I don't know. Another habit that I've been trying to keep up with lately is the whole thing where you cut up carrots and put them in a container with a little bit of water at the bottom to keep them fresh. This works really well, and I don't know why I haven't been doing it up until now, but it's especially good for when I want to buy local carrots, you know, carrots from the local produce stand, but I want to like pre-cut them for snacks or for just like throwing into things. I don't want them to go limp. It motivates you to eat them too when you see them already cut up in there. Also, baby carrots just kind of freak me out a little bit, not gonna lie. Next thing I want to talk about, which is very important, newsworthy, legendary, you could say, was this cheesecake that I made. This is the same recipe that I made for my Avatar video where I put a bunch of purple whipped cream on it, except I made it more correctly this time by actually following the directions, and it's also a lot larger. So that's fun, you know. The main reason why I wanted to make a cheesecake was because I had a big tub of gingersnaps that were going stale because I wasn't eating them quick enough. And I was like, what am I gonna do? Just eat all these gingersnaps? But I decided it would be very effective to make a cheesecake crust out of them. But I did make a few mistakes on this day, mainly the fact that I didn't realize until about halfway through that I had not been having the recipe like I thought I was. I only had 2 tubs of cream cheese. The recipe called for 4, so I was just gonna make a smaller cheesecake like I did in my Avatar video. But it just tasted like frosting, basically, cream cheese frosting. It was not gonna work. There was no way I was gonna make it happen. So I ran to the nearest store, and the only vegan cream cheese they had was the Kite Hill brand, which I don't know how we feel about, you know. I was just upset because Kite Hill is way more expensive than the Trader Joe's brand. cream cheese. But nevertheless, the cream cheese turned out, the cheesecake turned out amazing. You are the sunshine of my life, baby. Is this okay? Wait a minute. Is this allowed? Is that allowed? I don't know, I'll dollop a little more on top. Or should I just put it all? Get crazy, get wild, get crazy, get wild. If you wanna go, if you wanna have fun, then do something. If you wanna have fun, then do something crazy. Taking him. Oh my god. And you guys should let me know what flavor I should make next. What's the best cheesecake flavor in your humble opinion? Because the only cheesecakes that I've made have been plain so far, which is really, really good. Like, absolutely no complaints. But I would like to make like a blueberry one or a lemon, lime, caramel, chocolate, coffee. I don't know. Let me know. Bro. This is like real cheesecake. Yeah. Bro, my mouth is like watering. Bro, this is the best cheesecake. Best vegan cheesecake I've had. How many have you had? A lot. Bro, I did this recipe. Another exciting piece of information I have for you is that I bought a French press. After much consideration, I finally bought some sort of coffee making tool. I figured a French press would be a good option. First of all, because it's like versatile. You can make coffee or tea or cold brew or whatever, and it's easy to clean. But also because it's just like a metal filter, you know, you don't have to worry about using disposable filters or getting like a cloth filter or anything like that. So yeah, I googled how to make cold brew in a French press, and it's basically the same exact way that you would make hot brew. Which I should have just guessed. All you do is just grind up the beans and make sure they're like more coarse than with hot coffee. Pour in your water, give it a stir, put it in the fridge overnight, and then in the morning press down the lid and pour it out. And that's it. And I also forget every time I make cold brew that it's weirdly clear. Like, I always put in the creamer or the milk and I'm like, what happened? Why'd I put so much? But it's just like that. I don't know. Like, this looks so milky at the end of adding ingredients, yet it was like so strong. Also, this is not shown in this video, but the other day I shook up some cinnamon into my coffee. That was also delectable, especially delectable. I should do that again. I should add some nutmeg next time. Ooh. Yeah, especially with maple syrup to sweeten, that's perfect. And another thing that I've been getting into lately is gonna be very familiar to probably most of you that watch my channel. My classic everyday smoothie that I go through phases of making every single day to making never for 2 months, you know. But every time I make it again after I haven't made it for a long time, I'm like, what have I been doing with my life? It just makes my life so much easier. I don't know. You could complain about having to wash the blender every morning, but as long as you wash it immediately after, it's really not that bad. Smoothies, I just love them. Especially this specific smoothie. I feel like it gives me everything I need, you know? It's healthful, but it's also good. It gives me life. It gives me energy, you know? Nutrients, also you could say, protein and stuff. It's just like a good, like, default no-brainer breakfast for me, because otherwise I'll wake up and just like sit with my like not really working yet brain in the kitchen and be like, what do I want, you know? And then like scroll on my phone for 10 minutes and then be like, what do I want? Smoothies, you could just make the same thing every day, but it's healthy, so like it doesn't really matter, right? I mean, I should probably switch it up sometimes. I do. Sometimes I put cherries in it, you know, instead of blueberries. Sometimes there's like kale instead of spinach, you know? And this last thing I want to talk about is just like a lazy but good and filling and comforting and good meal that I made the other day, which I've made quite a few times recently, just like a veggie pasta, you know. This time though, I feel like I've found a new and especially efficient lazy way to prepare this meal. First, I made the pasta in this pot, and then I put it in the colander, rinse it, you know. Except I saved a cup of the pasta water, of course. You'll see that make a comeback later. And then I just started making the sauce right in that same pot because I was like, you know what? Why am I using 2 pots when I could just use 1? So that's what I did. I pre-cut all the veggies at once so I could just throw them all in at once. I added my jar of sauce. I added a bunch of seasonings. I poured out the jar of pasta sauce and then I added the pasta water to the jar, shook it up to get all the little crevices, you know, and then put that in the pot. And I used some of this tofurkey Italian sausage, which I like for like pasta or pizza and stuff. It's got a lot of protein, so you don't have to use that much. I could have used more though. I wish I had more to use in this, but anyways, lots of seasonings, you know, and some kale, gave it a stir. Well, it gave it many stirs, obviously. Yeah, that's it. I just stirred it together and it was a really good dinner. And I had a lot of leftovers too. That's what I love. You know, I love to make a whole box of pasta at once and then just have tons of pasta leftovers because it's the best. And also, this is me getting used to the life that I'm going to live when my roommate leaves me and I'm truly alone, making a bunch of food and freezing half the leftovers. Because that's what I used to do at home when my parents weren't always eating my food with me. Like, if I wanted to make a lot of stuff to be like really efficient, you know, I would just put like half my leftovers in a freezer safe container. Especially if it's a microwave safe container, that's especially good. And yeah, so you don't have to worry about like eating all your leftovers super quickly or like eating the same thing for many, many days straight, you know? You can kind of chill and you have that extra leftovers in the freezer that you'll probably forget about and then be happy that you have later, you know? So anyways, that's the last thing I have to show you for this video. I have a video coming up where I'm trying different homemade boba recipes, so look out for that one. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this one. Hope you got some food spo or some entertainment, and I hope you have a good rest of your day, and see you later.